Week 3 vlog. So, due to my absence, the week before, everyone was working on scene 4 and 5. I'm not involved. I'm not part of the scene, which is understandable because, in the end, people just want to get on with it. They just want to get work done. So, yeah, it's not necessarily a problem essentially because to be fair, it's not. Yeah, it's just don't really see it as a major problem not being in it really. But I can definitely see that the group has done very well, essentially, actually, really well, actually, because they basically completed the scene. They've used a lot of physical movement in the piece. It's quite interesting actually, because instead of just saying, "Oh, what's going on" and all that stuff with James's life, how it was in school, they're showing it. Sometimes seeing is believing for some people. So having seen that from an audience point of view, it was a bit disturbing. I cannot say it wasn't disturbing. It was disturbing, but it looked good. It looked effective. It was just so much going on, and, the power in everyone's voices, all of those kind of things, and it was just it just hit the spot. If you know what I mean, it really did impact me as an audience a lot, a lot. But yeah, but for me, for this week, it was just me basically just slightly working on scene 8 again, but just sort of recapping scene 1 to 3 really. But I was actually researching some ideas I had for scene 3, which is him talking about his granddad and how his granddad died, cancer. Now, again, cancer, it's, you literally hear it nowadays everywhere. You either hear it or you see the word or something. It's something to your cancer, and it's a terrible illness. And I've had past experience of, family members who've gone through it and unfortunately have passed away and all this kind of stuff. So, I have the understanding of how severe, this illness can affect someone, especially if someone is that close to the other person, it just impacts someone in a whole different way, and it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. But yeah, so for me, when I think about cancer, I feel like it just seems like a predator. It starts off slow, and it just gets closer and closer and closer until there's just no return. There's no coming back, and it's literally just like a predator. So with that, I wanted to sort of play on with that idea. So I started, just looking into some physical theatre things and stuff like that. And for me as an individual, I actually think that it was a good suggestion. And when I actually got the time to pitch it to everyone actually agreed with it and was very happy with it. So I was quite happy with them being happy with it. because it's just I wanted to give a little bit more, and then at this point, this is where I wanted to involve Barkov, because you know Barkov's technique about mechanical movements is the point of just using every single bit of bones, essentially, like as much as you could possibly, use in a sense. It's all of that, using everything, using all the joints and, and all that jazz. And yeah, so I started researching some, the cancer virus under the microscope. And what it does, if let's say this is the one virus, it starts going sort of a ripple feeling like look to it. It's very slow, very soft, but it starts pulsing as well. So it starts getting a bit bigger and it just goes to the point where it kind of, one of them just it becomes two. And then that two continues on. And then that's when the cancer starts spreading all over the body or to wherever it's aiming for, essentially. So as you can see, for example, in this movement I've got in my hand, I'm using all of my joints, but I'm still being flow with it. It doesn't mean I'm going It's slow, but you can see me working every bit of my joints and my fingers, every bone I can possibly use. So essentially, it's still very mechanical, because mechanical is very robotic, essentially. But this is a little bit more fluent, but with the view of mechanical. So I kind of wanted to merge Barkov's kind of mechanical movement into physical theatre. So what I was thinking, what I planned was to create a hospital bed that Axel could, he won't lay, but he will lean onto it, so it will look like he's laying, and as if the audience are seeing him from above his bed. So that's what it kind of look like. But then afterwards, whilst you have him being in the bed, you just start seeing ripples happening on the sides. And just keep on expanding. So it shows the cancer being multiplied, but at the same time it shows it getting bigger. And we want to sort of like move, because there's a point where the granddad gets up again, and we want to sort of move and travel towards him. So it gives that look as if it's a predator. It's like it's always right behind you. It's coming up behind you to the point where it grabs you. There is no turning back. And yeah, so when I expressed this idea to the rest of my group and stuff, they were very happy and they really liked it. So I did a workshop essentially. So we used to do this thing where we would walk in grids, so we can only walk basically in squares. So we couldn't do sort of like curvies. It was boom, 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 boom. Do you know what I mean? And then, so what I did, I asked everyone to walk in a grid. But then after that, and you see it in one of the videos that you got, I start telling them that they have to move their body mechanically, in a sense, as they have to use every single joint. And I'm talking about even if they're just walking, their arms could be flat still, but it has to be flat still. If you're gonna move them, you have to go like wrist, elbow, shoulder, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, because I was just, it was an experiment. You know, I was just trying to experiment with some ideas and some, you know, see how people move towards it, so you can actually get a proper feel of how it is. But then after I wanted them to do fluent, so there's this other type of work, walking, which is called curve. So you have grid and you have curve. Curve allows you to walk around, and that's all you can work. And then afterwards, with this one, I just wanted them to sort of flop around with it. So it just allows them to use every, once again, use every, you know, parts and joints of the body, seeing, you know, being fluent. So they've just naturally conjoined the two together. So yes, it's just, you know, it was something that, you know, I definitely applied and wanted to apply into it, and everyone was happy with it. So, you know, it got incorporated. So, you know, it was good because it ended up being effective in the end, because it just shows the message about cancer, what does it do to people, essentially how people feel, just knowing that it's just there behind it, and everything. So it's deep, but very effective in the end. But once again, we had some people missing, so it was difficult to continue some scenes. Some scenes we were just able to just cut them off of it, but if we had time, we'd fill them in if they can catch on to it quickly. That's the only time we'd really had a problem throughout our process there. You know, using physical theatre, mechanical and Verkoff's mechanical movement, sort of links me back to links me back to the session I had. I was based on Berkoff, his techniques, how he was, all that stuff. But also took me back to when I was doing a term on physical theatre, so creating the bed with just our bodies and stuff like that was, I think it was a lot more effective to do it that way, because obviously, imagine having to bring in a massive bed for that scene. It would have been absolutely ridiculous. And the transitions will be a bit messy, and then, you know, but whereas us, we create the bed, and I feel like it'll just be a lot more, it'll just have a lot more of an impact, especially when the whole cancer thing starts happening. It's like, whoa, what's going on? You know, for the audience, it's like, whoa, what's going on there? What's that? And then afterwards, when they see the clips of the cancer virus, they'll sort of like link back to it and be like, oh, they were the cancer virus, you know what I mean? They start linking it back, and they start clicking everything together, and it's just like one by one, everything just starts to make sense and everything. So that was definitely one of the most practical skills that we used. Voice as well. Like one a bit when we're screaming, oh, come on, Arsenal, because we did have to change the script. That was another problem, having to work out what some of the words were, because we decided to base this play because originally it was based in Glasgow back a couple of years ago, but we've decided to set it in our generation, so in the 21st century in London. So we had to change some words. So, for example, we had the Rangers. The Rangers was a Scottish football team, so we swapped it for. We swapped it for Arsenal. So we screamed, "Come on, Arsenal! Come on, Arsenal!" And yeah, and there was those other words that we changed. So instead of going out to one of these events that will happen only in Scotland, he'll say, "Oh," and he'll take us to see the Orange Walk, which is something that they do here in London. All of these kind of things. So we had to. That was a minor problem that we had because we had to work out what can we change it to, and then we had to write it on the script so everyone could remember. So when they learn their lines, they would learn it the edited version, not the original version. But we managed to solve that really quickly because our tutor is Scottish, so he was able to help us out with sort of telling us what is what essentially, really. And yeah, so you know, thinking back to my action plan, it's still slightly off target. I'm just behind on some of my work, but I do need to catch up really badly and very quickly. But this weekend I'll be sort of keeping it a head down thing and just get it done with. But as a week, week 3's been quite productive. Like we are moving forward in a good space. We started off with just 1 and 2 in the intro, and then now all of a sudden we're on 4 and 5. All those things. So it's quite good. So that's the end of my Scene 3 evaluation vlog.